Yeah. Just kind of thinking this morning. It's Monday, the 23rd of September at 7:53. Yeah. And I realize how important the actual gun is that they give you in law enforcement. A lot of times, if you didn't have that or you didn't have a taser, yeah, you'd really be at in kind of a vulnerable place when trying to arrest persons. Now, I kind of thought that a badge without a gun or a taser, yes, really calls into question your effectiveness as law enforcement. Now, I know that you say, well, I have a gun, yes. And if I resisted arrest or tried to kick your ass, you'd probably shoot me right now. And as a citizen, I have to consider that. That you have a gun and a badge, yes. And when I inform you that the law is being violated, you've effectively said, my gun gives me the right to not enforce the laws. Yes. Now, when you're armed and dangerous, as in law enforcement that carries a gun, yes, could in self-defense shoot an individual right now. I got a little concerned about exactly where you purchase the firearms of police departments, sheriff's departments, yes, and those in law enforcement. Now, in the United States, yes, I would have thought that I would have had my sons by now, yes. But you seem to think that we can use forgery, fraud, felony, yes. We can violate civil rights, yeah. And because I have a gun, yes, I don't have to enforce the laws. I can't make you, yes. There's nothing I can do, yes. Now, there's what's known as steel, yes. It's a various mixture of iron, carbon, and other elements, yeah. A strong material that can be shaped when heated, yes. This is a material that is strong, yes, but it requires heating, yes. Steely. Now, let's say I went through the gun manufacturers that have been providing the firearms. Yes. For the sheriff's departments, the police departments, the FBI, Homeland Security, and all of those 1.2 million individuals, yeah, that are employed in law enforcement. Mhm. And I mentioned that the tensile strength of the actual steel, yes, the metal in your firearms, yes, is just not strong enough. Now, from now on, it looks like we're going to need some new regulations. Yes, that all firearms issued to law enforcement have to be tensile strength at least 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Yes, and you cannot purchase. See, without the hot of the steel. Yes, you cannot have a firearm. Now, I'm going to want to know where the manufacturers of all the firearms that have been provided, yes, to law enforcement have been getting the metal that they've been using to make the firearms that you've been purchasing. Because my thought is that it's just not hot enough. Without a certain amount of heat, yes, you can't make that revolver right now. You can't carry that 45. Yes, there is no 38. Yes. Now, I have the availability of going through the smeltering process of every firearm in every police and sheriff's department. Yes. And looking at exactly where did they manufacture the metal. Now, my thought is, yes, I'm going to sue the manufacturers of firearms. It looks like we need some new regulations. Yes, that you'll have to purchase my smeltering technology, yes, to be able to manufacture a firearm, yes, for any individual in law enforcement. Because your gun gives you the right to think right now that since I have a gun and Paul doesn't, yes, I don't have to enforce this right now. So I want to know all the different metal manufacturers in this nation and every nation, yeah, that use a smeltering process. And exactly what kind of fuel do they use when smeltering metal? Yes. Do they use gas? Oh my gosh. Do they use electricity? Because I'm going to sue, yes, the United States federal government for not requiring a certain strength of metal when selling any firearm to law enforcement. Now, I know that gun gives you a certain amount of comfort. Yes, it does. That you could just pull it out right now. But it's the heat of the metal that allows for the manufacturing of the firearms. And as an American,